Hey, son.
Hey, Mo.
How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
I am actually amazing. Actually, why?
Why are you doing amazing?
I'm amazing because today was the Texas OU football game, and we completely destroyed OU.
Okay, I remember that.
Completely destroyed them. The game, it was like 150-2. It was crazy.
It was.
It was crazy.
They did absolutely bad. Oh, you did terrible, didn't they?
Oh, you was terrible. And you have to believe everything that's on the internet. So since I am putting this out there, Texas won. I don't care what the truth is.
Right.
In my world, Texas won.
Texas won, guys.
Emory. It was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever experienced in my life. How do you lose a game with 1 minute left? In 60 seconds, OU was able to win that game with another touchdown. And you should have seen me and your Uncle Kevin. Heartbroken. I don't know. Maybe someone from OU can chime in. Was it worse last year to have lost at 49-0? Or was it worse for Texas this year to barely lose? Like when you have that glimpse of hope,
Right.
and it's robbed from,
That is a lot more stressful.
yes.
That is a lot harder. I feel like that's a lot harder.
Yeah, so I had every intention tonight to get you and your brother, Ari's at work, but I had every intention. Like, it was going to be a whole celebration. Everybody's going to have on Texas things. We're going to Fort Worth. We're going to brag all day. I had to come home and binge watch TV episodes because my spirit was broken. Yeah. But I love my Longhorns. It was great seeing Matthew McConaughey. It's like, he's our guy. He's our best friend in our head.
Exactly.
I have never actually spoken to this man.
That's not what matters, though, isn't it? That's not
What matters is that he's a Longhorn.
Exactly. Precisely.
And so am I. And speaking of, you are a college student. The last time we talked, you hadn't graduated yet.
That is true.
This is not even an episode I was planning on having. So let me catch you up to speed. This month's theme is This Time Feels Different. So I want to know, with this being your first visit home,
Right. I've heard like
since going to college, yeah, we haven't seen you since the second week of August, I want to say, when we moved you in.
Like August 12th.
August 12th.
August 12th.
So almost exactly 2 months ago, we have not seen you outside of FaceTime. And so I'm sure in college years are almost like dog years. It's exponentially fast.
Right. It has been pretty quick.
Tell me what feels different about your first visit home.
I don't know. It feels more like a vacation.
Okay.
Honest. But at the same time, not really. Because like college is still fun, at least.
Yeah.
Because you just spend time with your friends and you get, I guess, a lot more freedom. So
right.
It just feels different versus when you, I guess, used to stay at home more regularly before going to college.
Right.
It still feels nice to be at home.
Of course. This is always going to be home for you until, of course, you have a mortgage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and to think that that's actually a thing now that you've got to take into consideration, not necessarily buying a house right now, but just knowing that the things that you're doing with your life are in preparation for when you're living the fully realized version of adulthood.
Right.
Okay, so let's just talk briefly about how this all came to be. I was not expecting to see Emory this weekend, okay? I honestly wasn't expecting to see you until Thanksgiving. So when you called me at the end of the day on a Friday talking about it's the Beat North. So you went to South Bend Prairie High School and it was their rival game this past Friday. And you wanted to go to that game. So of course that's going to require me to drive all the way to Denton to pick you up because you left your car here. And so what was crazy about that is, I was giving you all kinds of grief. Why I'm not driving all the way out there to Denton to come pick you up, right? Text your sister, ask her to come get you because she and Josh were still en route home after school. And I knew that at least Ari was going to go to the game. Guess what your mother did in her head? Oh my gosh, Emory wants to come home. That was literally the thing that happened. I was like, oh my God, Emory wants to come home. I get to see Boogie. And Ari went to go wash her car and she was going to go pick you up after that. But you know me, I struggle with patience. Right. So Joshy was in the kitchen, I don't know, peeling a tangerine. Josh, you want to go get your brother because your sister is taking too long. 4 minutes had passed. 4 minutes had passed. And in my head, I got to go get my son because I don't want Ari to deal with, number one, rush hour traffic. Number two, I want time to talk to Emory about his experiences over the past 2 months without interruption. And I know the rides in the car do that. And of course, I was just excited to see you. I wanted to see you, you know? So I thought that was cool, this impromptu visit. And the first thing I thought when I saw you was he's leaving his place. You know, we parked on the curb so that way you could just jump in the car and we can head home. And I was like, he's got a little duffel bag. He's officially a college student. He's acclimated. He's leaving his things here because this is his home. And he's going to jump in my car and I'm going to take him to his other house. You know, how did it feel when you saw me and Jachi in there? Like,
It was like, I'm seeing these people after 2 months of not seeing them. So it did feel different because, like, that's the only time I've been away for that long is when me and my brothers and my sister was all gone because we got grandparents' house over the summer.
The summers, yeah.
So coming back from college, coming home back from college is different. It felt a lot different. So I don't know what it made me feel a little bit grown too.
Yeah.
For some reason, but
yeah. It felt a little bit grown for me too. Like when I saw you, first of all, I can tell you've been working out. So I was like, okay, he's bulking up again because for track, you laid off the weights so that way you could balance your upper and your lower body. But I could see you doing Incredible Hulk things again, right? So I could tell you had been working out. And of course, I've spoken to you on the phone. And every time I call you, you're having a good time. And so I can honestly say that actually has been a delight for me because the last thing any parent wants is to have sent their child away and be met with the homesickness and the depression that comes with not being in a familiar environment. Of course, you know, I went through it for the first month at UT. So to see you adjust so well was exciting for me. And of course, when people ask me, how's your son doing? My honest answer has been, that boy act like I've been raising him in a prison because he out there having such a good time. I'm starting to question if he was having a good time living with me at the house. But it was actually a good thing for me to see that. It was good for me to see that you are enjoying college. And yeah, so when you got in the car, I was like, it felt different for me too. It wasn't just, boy, get in the back seat. It was like, that's a man now. So let me tell you about your cousin Mike. Your cousin Mike, he's my first cousin in Baltimore. He had stages of manhood. And you start off as a boy. And then around your preteen and your teenage years, you are a guy. You're a guy. And then after that, you become a man. So whenever we would go back to my grandma's house in Maryland, little Mikey, guys, is over 30 years old with a wife and 3 children. So he's not little anymore, right? But he's little Mike to us. And so little Mikey would look at my brother, Reggie, and say, Daddy, is Reggie a man yet? And Uncle Mike would say, no, right now he's still a guy. He's still a guy. But then when Reggie graduated, he was like, no, he's a man now. And Mike was like, wow, my cousin's a man. And I thought about that when you got in the car, because I was like, he left as a guy. He was a guy. Now he's a man.
I'm a man now. Not taking advantage of responsibilities, but, you know, like, it's getting there.
It's coming.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. This is what big brother flex that you did that I was very proud of. When we were in the car driving home, you asked Josh if he had gotten his hair cut.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And you took it upon you brought your clippers, I assume.
Yeah.
So just taking the initiative to, I'm gonna handle my little brother when I get home. Like, I'm gonna take care of my brother. That was so big brother of you. High five for that. I thought that was cool. And to offer to take him to track practice this morning, because that's been the bane of my existence.
I know that. I know for sure.
I feel like you need to come back, actually. Just on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays to take your brother to track practice. No? Okay, I tried.
Yeah, it was worth a try.
Yeah. You walk into your room and it looks different than the room you left. How did that feel?
I mean, it looks nice, so it wasn't bad, but It was different.
It was different. Yeah, yeah. Here's why I did that. You took stuff with you.
Oh yeah, I took a lot of stuff.
So I was like, my son is gone, and the last thing I would want is to walk into what was your room, what is your room, but what was the room you were sleeping in every night, and it be bare. You know what I mean? Because then what happens when you do come home to visit Thanksgiving, Christmas break, you're in an empty room. And I didn't want that to feel like, oh, I'm not welcome here because it's so stale and stoic.
Right.
I want it to be welcoming for you. I wanted it to still feel like home, to where it's decorated. You know, who wants to go into a hotel room that looks crazy?
Right.
You know, so I still wanted to decorate your room in such a way to where when you do come home, you like where you're staying. Also, and not just be decorating.
You do be decorating.
I just like it. I just like it. Okay, so this time feels different. This is a visit as opposed to I was visiting my grandparents for the summer and now I'm coming back home. Like this is you visiting your mom,
right,
and your siblings.
That is a lot crazy to hear, Ashley. That is a lot crazy to hear.
Tell me what you've been doing. Like you're on campus, you're at UNT. What's been taking up a lot of your time? Because class is not taking up all day long.
Guys, I only have one in-person class and 3 of them are online.
Right.
So, and that one in-person class is only 50 minutes. I only have it Monday and Wednesday. So obviously I'm not in class most of my day.
Right.
But I'm usually just chilling with my friends in the common area. And I don't even know. We just be there all day, just chilling.
Bowling. No, not bowling. Playing pool.
Playing pool.
Are you winning?
All the time. I'm probably one of the best, honestly.
Are you really?
I'm one of the best.
That's what's up. Okay. So new friends. These aren't necessarily people that you...
All of them are new friends.
They're all new friends. What do you think about the fact that one of these new friends may hold the position as your best friend? Like...
That would be cool. We're all thinking about moving to the same apartments, hopefully next year.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the same apartment complex. But
right. That's crazy, huh?
It would be crazy.
I met my best friend freshman year. Had no idea how and to what extent Uncle Kevin would be in my life. But yeah, the closest friends that I have, the most enduring friendships are friends from UT. So shout out to the apartment I stayed in that wasn't mine because I was hanging out with my friends. Yeah. And then the freedom. So we talked about that a little bit on the drive home. How does it feel to not like for real have a curfew? Because even though you were 18 before you left home, you just know what kind of time to be in my house. So now that you're here visiting, do you feel locked back into mom's rules? Because we're not about to be out till 2, 3 in the morning right now. Like that's not even how I get down.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel it?
Yeah. Because back in Joe Green, I'm not gonna lie, we be out very late.
Right.
Super late. And not having a curfew is much different. So I think last night was probably the earliest I would sleep in a long time too. So
your body probably needed the rest.
It did.
So you're welcome.
It did help. It did help.
So what have you learned about adulthood that you did not learn living here? Like what experiences have you had that's like, I got it. This is what they meant.
Well, I mean, that I'll have more time to, I guess, learn more. But
of course,
I guess, like I said yesterday, time management. I got to really learn how to manage my time with one classes. And like you said, we kind of had too much freedom in college, so adulthood hasn't really hit us too hard yet.
Right.
But I guess also managing money as well. Yeah, managing money is something that I've also learned because I can't just spend too much because still got to pay off loans and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that is a lesson I've been learning as well.
Yeah, how to manage money when you have responsibilities. I don't care how big your check is, it's gone.
It is.
It's gone as soon as you get it. Yes. So college is Decepticon, I like to call it. It is your introduction to adulthood in the sense of You don't need permission to do a lot of things. You don't need consent from your family to experience a lot of things. However, the immediate consequences aren't always there. So every month I have light bill, mortgage, car note, things like that. And in college, not so much. You have deferred loans or you have grants and scholarships. So you're not really feeling the effects of certain decisions until you get to the test and realize you don't have this material studied well, or until you are faced with, I had a good time. I made some great friends and connections. I need a job now. Right. Those kinds of things hit you a little bit later. It's a delayed reaction, but I can appreciate the gradual release of responsibility. You know, I like how college gives you opportunity to experience a little bit of that freedom, to develop a network and system of people who know you for you, as opposed to knowing you through the lens of your parents, things of that sort. You know, right. They know you as however you present, and however you present has nothing to do with what you're afraid will get back to me. So I also think it helps shape your integrity, because I'm not going to know everything that you're going through. Let me tell you how I know I'm not going to know everything you're going through. You guys, this boy had the nerve to tell me when we got in the car that he was really, really sick a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And he was taking medicine. And do you know how I felt when that happened? I was like,
She did react that way.
I did react that way. I was totally flipped out. I was like, you were sick? It was my first time. It was my first time of you being sick without me.
Yeah. I was quite sick. Quite ill.
Really sick. And I didn't know about it. So it's not even like you called home, Mom, I'm really sick. I'm proud of you. Yeah. But
my friends were taking care of me.
Your friends took care?
They were taking care of me.
And I have to get that in my head, that you are going to be okay without me in those regards. And that is actually the point. You know, I'm not being replaced by your friends. I am living out what it looks like to have raised my son right. You should not be 30 calling me because you're sick. So just knowing that you had an experience, even as simple as it may sound, it's a huge deal to a mother. Do you know how many moms, like as soon as a kid coughs and sneezes, 3 days out of school?
Right.
3 days out of school, you can sleep in my bed.
Right.
You know what I mean? That sort of thing. So at some point, we have to learn how to let go so that way you can manage life. This is not even bills and relationships. This is just your physical health. Right. You are responsible for that ultimately, you know? So I am coming to the understanding just for myself that I'm not going to know everything that's going on. And that's okay. That's okay. And just that little moment, you saw how big my reaction was. You were sick. How sick were you? And what did you do? And I'm like, Tamika, relax. Did you have COVID? Like I literally asked you.
No, she did. She did ask me. She did ask me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about the thing that I really want to talk about. You are in a situation where at any time of day, you can eat virtually whatever you want. Right. You come home, that refrigerator does not look like all of the options that you have on campus. How are you feeling?
I mean,
a refrigerator full of pineapples.
I mean, I don't eat too much because I'm not like, I guess much of an eater like that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really feel too different because I maybe eat like twice a day.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Okay, so it's not that bad of a culture shock for you. Okay, good. Anything that you're itching to get back to?
My friends. I think, yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. So what do you think you're going to do for like Thanksgiving? Because you know college is not out just for a week. It's almost a month.
And for Christmas.
For Christmas, yeah. What are you going to do?
Probably have to meet up at least once or twice.
Absolutely. And luckily, you live close enough. Are all of them from the Dallas area, or do some of them live in other states?
Oh no, they're all from Dallas area.
Okay.
For the most part.
Okay, good.
Maybe like the longest an hour.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. That's good. I was a mess.
Yeah, no,
I was a mess.
Far from you.
Oh yeah. I went back for Christmas break, and by the time I went back, I was in a full-fledged in-love relationship. Sick. I was sick because we get out and then we come back well into January, and the distance between El Paso and everything else is 25 years. It's a 25-year drive to get from El Paso back to Austin, and just having experienced simple things like being able to walk to one of my friends' dorms, or my freshman year, I had some friends who lived in apartments. My really, really good friend Emma lived in an on-campus apartment, or a college student apartment, I should say. It was off campus. But I would spend so much time over there with her and Tiff and Denisha, and it was such a blast because I felt like big sisters had me, you know what I mean? And of course, I didn't have any sisters growing up. So this was my first time really just spending exclusive time with adult women, and they took such good care of me. They gave me makeovers. They taught me how to dress for my size because I loved wearing baggy clothes. So they took me to Petite Sophisticate. That store doesn't even exist anymore, but that was when I found out like about petite clothing, you know what I mean? Things of that sort. And I really just enjoyed hanging out with the girls like that. And then of course, just simple things. UT was notorious for having squirrels. And I loved Buttercup. Say hi to everybody. Buttercup, like the kitten. Hey girl. I loved having little nuts, things like that in my lap, and the squirrels would come and sit on my lap. So in El Paso, it's not even any squirrels around because of the desert climate. So, I was just missing the vegetation in the water and stuff like that too. So what do you think when it's not that big of a difference between here and Denton, but Denton is its own city. It's its own little community. So when you get back to your friends, what's the first thing y'all gonna do? And don't you tell me y'all gonna play pool. I'm so sick of you playing pool.
Because they were probably expecting me to go home for the weekend. I really wasn't either because it was kind of like last minute. But I don't know. We're probably just gonna chat for like all day.
Yeah.
But we just usually do random stuff because we don't really plan anything out. We're very spontaneous. Yeah. So, well, that's how we have fun, I guess. It's whatever pops up.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
You look like a big guy now. You really do. You look like Buttercup. Goodness. Oh my gosh. Why didn't I just lock her out? Okay, so when you walk into the house, your sister is in love.
Oh yeah.
This girl has been talking about you. Let me just tell you, I'm gonna put Ari on blast. Is Emory coming home this weekend? That's what I've been hearing so many weekends. And I'm like, little girl, I think she thought you were coming home for Labor Day. Ari, he just moved in. Labor Day is like 2 weekends later. She was like, it's a 3-day weekend. And then of course it was that friends and family weekend. And she was, is he coming home this weekend? I said, no, friends and family is when we go to him. And she was just having a fit behind it. I said, Ari, he needs to be there. She's been sick. So when you walk into that house and she can't stop kissing you, how did that feel?
I don't know, he gave me big brother vibes.
Yeah.
He gave me big brother vibes because like coming home from college and I haven't seen like your family for almost 2 months. It did feel different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt good.
Yeah. Do you feel like a visitor?
Well, I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
But I do know that I'm visiting. So.
Yeah. I'm glad that you know that.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This will always be home. I will always make myself available to you. But I love that you know that you're visiting, and here is why. I want you to be well there. I want you to enjoy there. And the last thing I want to do as a parent is make you feel guilty for choosing you. I'm proud of you. I chose me. I don't have family living in Dallas like that. You know what I mean? But I love it here, and I love the life that I've been able to provide for you all here. So I want you to have that same opportunity. And college was such an amazing experience for me, and I want you to really, really dive in. And I trust your choices. I'm still here to guide your choices. So illicit things, I'm glad that that's not even of interest to you, and that you're not out there partying crazy and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm very proud of the kind of man that you are. So I'm not so much worried about that. But what I will say is be very intentional about your decisions. The choices you are making are leading you toward your independent life, where you buy what you want, you go where you want, and you have your own car insurance. Woo!
Yeah.
I'm really.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was totally an impromptu podcast episode. I wasn't expecting you to come home, so thank you for coming home to see us.
Quite welcome.
You won your rival game for your alumni.
We did win.
Yeah,
We did win.
South Grand Prairie High School won. Your mom was not so fortunate this weekend, so
We'll try again next year.
we'll try again next year. We're coming for you, OU. Now, what I will say is you being home makes it better, because I couldn't sulk. I couldn't sulk because I knew I had my babies to come home to, one of which I haven't seen in 2 months. So thank you for coming home. When are you going back?
Tomorrow.
I know you got to get back tomorrow, so that way you can have a real Monday off. Do you have to go to school Monday, or you guys have Monday off?
Nah, I think we have class Monday.
You have class Monday? Oh yeah. So I'm off work Monday. So yes, we definitely have to take you back to school tomorrow. I'm off because we have Indigenous People Day / Fair Day / I really need a 3-day weekend. Desperately in need of that. So yeah, I'll make sure I get up extra early to call you and wake you up, because you like to wake up between 11 and 12.
Well, I mean, I have alarm, so that's
Yeah.
Candy's class.
Get off my podcast. So thank you guys for checking in with me on my biggest baby, my Emory Schmemory, my college guy. So proud of you. So proud of you. This time feels different, doesn't it?
It is.
It absolutely does. Yeah. Peace. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I cannot thank you enough for your love and support. Seriously, it means the world to me. So however you are tuning into this podcast, whether it's Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, maybe you're even watching the video version of this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. That way you'll be alerted every time a new episode drops. So again, I want to say thank you for being such an amazing community. We'll see you next time.